how's everyone? This is Alua Fakola Dev Idinka Ifa Temple. I want to welcome you to our Ile Juba Sunday service. Thank you all for joining us. I want to remind folks, if you can, like and share at this time. So let's begin with morning prayers, and then we'll begin with our service. So, Ola Dumare. Mojuba Alaro, Mojuba Leda, Mojuba Lodomare, Mojuba Oro. Mojuba Olodumare, Mojuba Bobo Romale, Mojuba Boy Male, Mojuba Boy Kuntembile, Solodumare, Mojuba Miss Madita Lucudins, Mojuba Dars Hall, Mojuba Base Mercy, Mojuba Fidenos, Mojuba Cupidanos, Watkins, Mojuba Dale, Mojuba Zion, Mojuba Homes, Mojuba Watkins, Mojuba Benidum, Mojuba Kate Bradley, Mojuba James Owens, Mojuba Benino Chino, Onville Mill, No Black Dennis, Agustin Vilmil, Mojuba Boy Egun, Timbili, Solodumare. Ajogbe. He who hears people please and set the please. He who hears people please and proves please. He who talks to people and ensures that the talk is completely absorbed. He who hears people please and set the please in the name of Ifa. He who hears people please and approves of the please is the name of Eshru Dara. He who talks to people and ensures that the talk is completely absorbed is the name of Orishanla. Orishanla, you're the person most human beings. Person most whom cannot fail to impress them. Strike frog is the one who summons rainfall. Bullfrog is the one who summons downpour. It is whatever the original poem to you tells Earth or that accepts. Whatever the big rat tells Earth or that accepts. All what I tell you, Fa, please accept them and approve them. Oh, Turete, to show gratitude upon gratitude is the hour of all gratitude. To display benevolence upon benevolence is the hour of all benevolence. Whoever I show gratitude for yesterday's benevolence, such a person else see today's utility. These were the decorations of Ifa to the 401 in Rumale. I'm going to marry Opoya, daughter of Rish Fuji. These are also decorations to Rumale. I'm going to marry Opoya, the daughter of Rish Fuji. I'm grateful I see my gratuity. I'm grateful for yesterday's favor. I see today's gratuity. Oh, Turete, we are very grateful. I share. Awa dupe, awa bure, awa dupe, awa bure. Adúpẹ́ àná àròbóre tòní Olódùmarè àwa dúpẹ́ àwa búrẹ́ àwa dúpẹ́ àwa búrẹ́ adúpẹ́ àná àròbóre tòní orí àmì àwa dúpẹ́ àwa búrẹ́. Àwa dúpẹ́ àwa búrẹ́ adúpẹ́ àná àròbóre tòní èrò mọ̀lẹ́ àwa dúpẹ́ àwa búrẹ́ àwa dúpẹ́ àwa búrẹ́ adúpẹ́ àná àròbóre tòní lẹ́kùn lọ́rìṣà. Ifa, we ask for your forgiveness on Erosu Etutu. Pounding down without soup can be very difficult to consume. These are the decorations of Ifa to Tutu, child of Agbeneregun. He was full of bad character. He was bad attitude had prevented him from entering Tifan's domain. Now comes his list on behalf of Etutu. We come to beg on behalf of Etutu. How many children does Ifa have that he will cast out? Those who beg on behalf of Etutu. Ifa, we ask that you would forgive us. Forgive us for any of the taboos that we might have violated, anything that we might have done incorrectly, anything we might have done wrong, any aspect that is out of alignment with you, out of alignment with our destiny. We ask that you would support us and put us back into alignment. We call on you. We ask that you would continue to ward off our death, ward off sickness, ward off cases and controversy, ward off fights, litigation, losses in our advice, ward off witchcraft and negative forces from us. Bring forth to us long life, wealth, good spouse, good children, longevity, prosperity, victory over adversity, peace of mind, joy, healing, all good things of life. Ogbe Lara, Rumla said it is time to sleep. I echoed it is time to sleep. When the day dawned, I met a Rumla in the 16th room where he covered his head with a flowing gown full of life. He was wearing a dress full of blessings. He was snoring heavily. They told him that delegate from his disciple arrived. A Rumla inquired on what the delegate brought. They told him they brought 2 rats with the wedding. 2 fish graceful in swimming, 2 birds swift in flight, and 2 goats with big livers. Orumla said, that's not enough to wake him up. I admit my ignorance, he's educated me. Motonaka, I myself in the bosom. Motonaka, the dog hangers, great who beats Agbajan repeatedly to perform rituals because of children. You are the leaders, we are the followers. Leaders are the ones that show the followers wisdom. Orumla told them to get alligator pepper, to get cola nut, to get bitter cola nut, to get alcohol. The Akapo got the alligator pepper, you got the cola nut, got the bitter cola, and you got the alcohol. That is right. It's now that he is fully awake. Orumla, when you're fully awake, please look at me with the eyes of compassion. It is with eyes of compassion that the heavenly stars use and look at the stars below. Orumla, when you're fully awake, please look at me with the eyes of Cho 1, 2. Secure good spouses, such good eyes that my spouse would use in looking at me with. Orumla, when you're fully awake, please look at me through the eyes of Cho 1, 2. Bear many children and such good eyes a child should use in looking at a well-decorated plate. Before long, not too far, join us in the midst of all evil and life. I share. If we ask at this time that you will continue to ward off our death, ward off sickness, ward off cases, controversy, ward off fights, ward off litigation, losses, outright fights, witchcraft, and negative forces from us. Bring to us support. We ask that you would support us now. If I please move my ego out of the way so that we can hear words of Ifa. Emma kami mene amo, Emma kami mene ano, Emma kami mene adelokun, Ekamole, Tori Ifa lonemi, Ebora timpanini, Eneva na mi, Awon ati Ifa lelejo, Orumila. We ask that you would continue to support us. Grant us these blessings. Oshe Abuela, tiny are the feet of Tubu. The stripe of a chameleon is not big enough to use his headgear. Had it been enough to use his headgear, I would have taken it home to adorn my head with it. Easy 5 decorations too. Aruela, when going on spiritual missions with Ebule, we can look at some money. Consult and make a rich recall Aruela expecting a Jebule. Oshe Aruela is a good awo. Oshe Tra, I kick in a bagisa. The extra chop you can sit to cast for Roma. When he CV Bana, chef from Molodamar. If an hour is real to surely be wealthy, I kick in a bagisa, in the mouth of an hour, Zazibana share, in the mouth of an hour, if no treasure. You should have long life, you should surely have long life. I kick in a bagisa, in the mouth of an hour, Zazibana share, in the mouth of an hour, if no treasure have victory, surely have victory. I kick in a bagisa, in the mouth of an hour, Zazibana share, in the mouth of an hour. If no treasure have joy, you surely have joy. I kick in a bagisa, in the mouth of one, Zazibana share, in the mouth of an hour. To esin. Maybe so surely shall it be. Àṣẹ òrìṣà lẹ́nu mi o, àṣẹ òrìṣà lẹ́nu mi. Bọ́bọ́n tí mo bá màmá wí o, ìrúnmọlẹ̀ ó bà, Ifá ó bà o, àṣẹ òrìṣà lẹ́nu mi. Àṣẹ o. Tẹ́mọ̀ dúró, tí mo súre, bí mo pẹ̀rẹ̀, tí mo súre, bí mo kúnlẹ̀, tí mo súre, bí mo jókòó, tí mo súre, ire tí mo sùn, orí ti bọ́. Orí ẹni làrúrẹ ìyá ni ọ, orí ẹni làrúrẹ ìyá ni. Mọ́júlọ́ mi ò fà wá mọ́rí, orí ẹni ìyá ni. Ṣé o? Gbogbo rẹ̀ já ọtún, Ifá ọba lọ́run, àti ìbàtájú, Ifá ọba lọ́run. Ó ṣe àrùlà Ifá ti bó. Olódùmarè, all of the Irumole, all of the 256 Odu, please, we ask that you would support us, ward off death, ward off sickness, ward off cases, controversy, ward off fights, litigation, losses, outright fights, witchcraft, negative energy. We ask that you would support us and guide us, bring us to have long life, wealth, good spouses, good children, healing, joy, peace of mind. Give us the victory. Give us the victory. Give us the victory. Ashe. Aboru. Aboye, Aboshishe, Agboato. Thank you all once again for joining us. I'm Olu Fakola David in Kaifa Temple, and we thank you for hanging out with us today in our Ilea Juba service. We want to remind you to please like and share. Those of you on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, please like and share. Tag folks in who you feel might benefit greatly from what we'll be saying today. Also, those of you who are on, I want you to send us a shout out, and we'll give you a shout out at the end. Tell us where you're from, tell us how you feel, and how you feel about today's topic. So, without further ado, let's talk about what we came here for. Today's topic is reclaiming your power, reclaiming our collective power. When we talk about that, what we're saying is that we have power. And as an Ifa follower, we need to be able to name it and claim it, call it into existence to bring things forward. We need to have that aspect of confidence in not only who we are, what we are, but whose we are. We need to have that level of confidence and understanding that we can have an effect for positive change on our reality. And we need to begin to talk about that more. Not just the abo, not just the akoshe and things that people may perceive to be as magical, but the internal fortitude and confidence and power to stand in not only what you believe in, but what you know to be true. That is what I want to talk about today. So, when we say reclaiming, in a real sense, what I am talking about is an aspect of power that many of us may not realize that we have even in the first place. Before we talk about that, what is power? Huey P. Newton says that power is the ability to define phenomena, and secondly, the ability to make those phenomena act in a desired manner. When we think of power, I think about not only Huey P. Newton's definition, but a definition that the psychologist Dr. Wade Nobles said many years ago. I believe he put it something like this: power is the ability to define reality and have others react to your definition as if it were their own. So those aspects of Huey P. and also Dr. Wade Nobles are very similar. It's the ability to have an effect and even on a certain level adjust, control, maintain the reality that you live in. So with that, let's talk about this aspect of losing power and regaining it. Ifa says in the Odu Ifa Owori Meji, the palm of the hand does not grow hair. This was Ifa cast for Mofedni, who was in the midst of poverty and in the midst of suffering, who went to borrow money in the home of Kifeyani. He was Evaiswa for Ebo. He complied. Before long, not too far, all good things came in abundance to him. Those who write others off, you do not know tomorrow. Where there is life, there is hope. Those who write others off, you do not know tomorrow. This Odu is so powerful. I'm so many of us, I'm sure you've heard me speak of this Odu verse many times. The story behind this is there was a man by the name of Mofedni, and Mofedni was a good person. He had fallen on hard times, and he was indebted to people, and he was in the midst of creditors. So what he did is he was in so much debt that he went to cast Ifa. Ifa told him what to do. One of the things that he had to do, one of the things that he ended up doing is, he put himself in indentured servitude to have the debts paid by a person by the name of Kifeani. And Kifeani paid his debt and took on Mofeni as not only an indentured servant, but also a slave. While Mofeni worked for Kifeani, he was doing his very best to stack his money so that he could get out of that debt and get out of that situation and move on with his life. What he ended up doing is he started a small business while he was working under Kifeani. And that business was selling poultry. So he had a number of hens at first, and then he added some roosters, and then the hens and the roosters got together and they had baby chicks. So he had a nice little business going, and he was working for Kifeani, working off his debt, and he was also making a little bit of money on the side, selling chickens, selling eggs, and doing things like that. And sometimes the way that we move, we don't see the way we move. We don't see ourselves kind of walking in our power. And other people see it. And before we realize what we're doing, they realize what we're doing. And Kifeani was a person like that. Kifeani watched and he was like, I don't want Mofeni to be out of my control. I want to continue to exert power over Mofeni. I don't want him walking in his power. So he devised a plan. And the plan was the business that Mofeni had begun, Kifeani was going to end it all in one day. So the process that he did was he took the chicken coop and piled rocks on top of it to make it collapse, killing all of the hens, all of the chickens, the roosters, everything, all in one fell swoop. So the business would be ended immediately. And he would be forced to be under the control and subjugation of Kifeani. He did this. And the day Mofeni realized it, he came out and he realized that all his chicks had died. And he was crying and in despair. And in that moment, Eshu showed up to him and told him, what you need to do is take each of those bodies and I want you to smoke them. So I want you to preserve all of the bodies of those chickens and hens and so on. Chickens, hens, baby chicks, what have you. So he did this. And it came to be pretty much about, 30, 40 chickens that he had preserved by smoking them. And then Eshu went and told people, let people know. There was a king in a neighboring town who was very, very sick and very close to death. That king went for Ifa consultation, and the Babalao told him that he needed 10 hens that had died on the same day. That is what he needed to use to make the medicine that would heal him. And Eshu went there and told them, there's someone who has this. Go and see him. He's across town. So then Eshu went to Mofeni and he told him, there will be people coming and they need what you have. I want you to charge them over and above the amount. What is the regular amount you're going to charge for hens? He's like, $5 a piece for, $5 a piece for 10 hens, like $50. And Eshu said, no, charge $50. And When we think about this, when someone reminds us of our power, reminds us, hey, you've got power, you've got worth. Oftentimes we may look at that person and like, man, are you sure? Are you sure it's me? And Mofeni took Eshu's advice, trusted him, and upcharged when the people came and they paid top dollar. Then there's another person who was ill. There above 10 chicks who had died on the same day. Eshu told him this time charge 20 times the price. And he did. And then yet another group of people had an Ebo where they had 10 chickens who had died on the same day. Eshu told Mofeni this time charge that group 100 times the regular amount. So by the end of it, Mofeni had garnered the amount of money above and beyond what he owed Kifeani. So he paid Kifeani a debt, and then it was so deep that Kifeani got in debt, and he had to have Mofeni to pay his debts. What are we saying here? This aspect of power, the essence of it is freedom. When you have power, you have the ability to truly, truly, truly express yourself and truly be who you are. That is a real aspect of power. The freedom to define reality and make that reality respond to you in a way that you desire it. I want to ask us, where is your power? The question behind that is, are you free enough to exert it? The concept of choice, can we choose to live a life of good character or not? Can we choose to be honest? We can choose to have good character. We can choose to be thankful. We can choose to work against our anger. We can choose to eat organic spinach. We can live in a world what we do live in a world that conditions us to make bad choices. A world that conditions us, controls us, exerts a power over us, much in the way that Kifeani exerted a power over Mofeni. When we think about this, I was thinking about the example of McDonald's fries. And so many people are like, oh my God, McDonald's fries are so good. I love them. And McDonald's fries, so good, but those fries have 17 different ingredients. All they are is fries. Those fries probably got potatoes, vegetable oil, canola oil, corn oil, soybean oil, hydrogenated soybean oil. I read they had natural beef flavor, wheat and milk derivatives, dextrose, sodium acid, phosphate, coloring, salt, other beef flavors, wheat flavors, milk. All these are just ingredients for fries. And you know it's toxic. Yet we still eat them. We know it's toxic. Yet every time I pass by McDonald's on King, it's a line onto the boulevard. We are conditioned, we are influenced, we are inspired to pick these fries and other toxic foods and other toxic relationships. And in a real sense, it is as if someone or something, some conglomerate, some institution, something has the ability to define phenomena in our lives and then make that phenomena in our lives act in the way that they desire it to. So I ask us once again, collectively, what has power over us? What makes us think the way we think? First point, If you do not possess your own power, someone will possess it for us. Simply put, there is a percentage of the population who benefits from us being powerless. They profit off of our ignorance. They bank on us being ignorant, and they bank on us not having or embracing the knowledge of ourselves. Essentially, power acquisition is knowledge of self and knowledge of source. So when we acquire this power, we got to know who we are and who we belong to. But it benefits so many people to take that power from us, dupe us out of it, and then harness it for their own devices. Ifa says in Otura Oriko, it is a particular errand that one is sent on, that one will deliver. One cannot refuse the work that had been given to them to do. One cannot wake up in the morning and refuse the errand of one's creator. These were Ifa's declarations to Oyi when going to heaven. He sent Akin to Ado. He sent he who cast Ifa while laying on his back to Okejeru. He sent the palm tree to Egeti, the land of his father. He wanted them all to take care of all those places. What am I saying? This verse is so interesting because Ifa says, first, it is a particular errand that one is sent on that one will deliver. It is a particular path. One can't refuse to work that one has the work that one has been sent on. You can't refuse this work. One cannot wake up in the morning and refuse the errands of one's creator. The errand is your destiny. You cannot refuse your destiny. But yes, you can, but you cannot. It is not prudent to refuse the errand that your creator has put you on. So what Ifa is saying is that your destiny is also your power. And God is the individual who sanctions it. Second point, purpose is power. Purpose is power. Purpose is power. I'm going to just keep saying that. Purpose is power. You don't have a purpose, you don't have any power. You don't know what you're supposed to do. You don't know what you're doing. You're working without any direction. You have no ability to have an effect on the world. You have no ability to have effect on your life if you don't know who you are. You don't have knowledge of self. You don't have the purpose to walk in. Walking in purpose is walking in power. We have an errand, we have a duty bestowed upon us by Almighty Olodumare. And Olodumare is the one who has sanctioned that power, sanctioned by the source. And that source, as I said before, is Olodumare. Our destiny is the aspect of divinity that has been imprinted on our DNA. Knowledge of self is knowledge of our destiny. Knowledge of self is knowledge of God. If we knew ourselves, if we knew our power, if we knew our purpose, we would treat ourselves differently. We would move differently in the world if we knew the things that we said out of our mouth really manifested in the world. Wouldn't you call different things into existence if you knew really that what you did manifested in the world? If you knew you were connected to source, because we are, if you knew that, wouldn't you move differently? Wouldn't you call different things into the world? Wouldn't you bless different things and reject other things because you can do that. It is in your destiny. You can reject disease and embrace good health. You can reject bad relationships and embrace empowering ones. You can curate your friend circle. What that means is you can pick and choose. Okay, this friend is a good fit. That's not a good friend. Let me let that person go. These are good friends. These are individuals who are dependable and I can depend on, and we can depend on each other. We are mutually empowering. You curated that friend circle. You curate your business circle because here's the deep part about it. Because even if you don't, even if you don't embrace the power of that choice, you're still choosing. Even if you don't embrace the understanding that you have power, you're still exerting it. You're still exerting it. Knowledge of source of power is is power. But to know that power is Olodumare. And knowing that Olodumare has given the stamp of approval for that power to manifest. Lastly, I want to talk about Ogundameji. Ifa says, Kanran Jongbon is king of ropes in the forest. This was the Awo who cast Ifa for Baba Fetiniti Jogbon B when limiting inability to achieve all area of life. He was advised to offer Abo. He complied. Travelers to Ipo no Fatan before he reclined to complete eating the 30 kola nuts. And Ire, all Ire in his life reached the Awo. So in this verse of Ogunda Ameji, there was a Baba, there was a man by the name of Baba Feyinti Jogbon Obi, and his name basically means he who reclines and consumes 30 kola nuts. This man had several challenges. His life was not where he wanted it to be. Fenti Jogbon Obi, he was doing so many things or praying so many prayers, and none of his prayers were manifesting. He wanted so many great things to come about, and those things were not coming about. He prayed, and he did not see the effect of his prayer on the world. He wanted a spouse. He couldn't have that because he wasn't in the right circle. He wasn't where he needed to be. Have you ever been in a situation where you prayed and prayed and prayed, and you wanted certain things to happen? You wanted to see the manifestation of your prayer. You wanted to see the exertion of your power. You wanted to be in tune with that power, but it was not, it wasn't focused well enough because things weren't happening. This is what Baba Feyinti Jogbon Obi was experiencing. Nothing was manifesting. He went for Ifa consultation, and the Babalao told him that he would receive everything he desired within 30 days. I'm sure, I think, Bon Obi was surprised. In 1 month, basically, I will have everything that I so desire. And he was advised to offer Ebo, but along with that Ebo, Baba Feyinti Jogbon Obi was also told that you need to serve Ifa one kola nut every day for 30 days. And every day you do this, you need to be praying. You need to pray and pray and think and pray every day. You need to have that level of devotion. And that is what he did. He went and every day he would give Ifa Kolanut, pray. I give you this Kolanut. And he would pray. And within the span of that time, he had the beginnings of everything he needed, everything that he had desired. So my last point is decisions determine discipline. Decisions determine discipline. Our decisions determine our level of discipline. And that discipline is the thing that will get us to the power. Why? Because in order to have power, you need to cultivate it. It's not like it's not like overnight the prayers that you pray are gonna be like every, anytime you see somebody who's doing that, that took time and cultivation and faith and development. In order to do this, you have to avoid distractions because destiny is developed. Destiny does not just pop up. You've got to work towards it. Actualization of power comes through a process of cultivation. We must cultivate our power. It's all in your destiny, but you have to choose to be disciplined. Our personal power is encapsulated in that destiny, and the potential of our destiny can remain dormant unless we choose to actualize it. If you don't choose to actualize it, if you don't make the decision to be disciplined enough to manifest what was told to you would come, it will never come. It will lay dormant. We must find, follow, and fulfill our destiny. Or not, because guess what? It's still a choice. Dr. Andrew Huberman mentions this particular part of the brain. He calls it, it's called the anterior mid-cingulate cortex. And a little bit about this part of the brain. This part of the brain grows when you do challenging exercises, when you public speak, when you have hard conversations, when you do competitive sports, when you expose yourself to cold, like the ice plunge, when you learn something new and challenge, when you resist cravings. This is also called the tenacious brain. This is the part of the brain that's important for having the ability to overcome. It enables one to keep going even though there's adversity. That part of the brain. Scientific studies show that it maintains its size even as a person ages, and it is even responsible for one's lifespan and long life and even the will to live. When we think about this, there have been studies that have shown that this part of the brain, the anterior mid-cingulate cortex, is actually smaller in people who are addicted to perhaps food, who are addicted to drugs because they have not made the choice to do that which is hard. They haven't chosen to abstain from that thing. This part of the brain is a direct relation to individuals who give in to whims. When we think of this, With the mind, the brain is telling us, even biologically, you must have discipline in order to achieve goals. This part of the brain grows when one is being disciplined. Imagine, to cultivate power, it may take waking up early in the morning at 5 and working out every day. To cultivate power, it must require the discipline to wake up in the morning and pray. Imagine if you woke up every morning at 5 and you went to Oshun or you went to Ogun and you prayed every day. You know what? This is our time, Ogun. I'm going to wake up and it's 5 a.m. That's me and you. I'm going to just wake up and talk to God. As you do that, imagine doing something like that for 30 days. What is what do you think will happen if you do that? And as we think of that, I want to challenge us to do that ritual. I had a friend, we called that Ebo of Ogunda Meji the 30-day kola nut challenge. That would be deep if people started doing challenges where, you know what? I'm gonna wake up and pray every day and put it on TikTok. Or I'm gonna wake up at 5 a.m. every morning and I'm gonna give Ifa a kola nut and pray for the things that I desire. I'm not saying this as a internet stunt, but I'm only telling you that when you put it on film, you put it on TikTok, you put it on Instagram, whatever, this is like a marker because you look at it and you can measure your progress. Well, I started here on day 1, I didn't have the thing that I prayed for. By day 15, oh my goodness, I had everything that I wanted. I'm able to see the cultivation of that power. I'm just saying, challenge yourself. Challenge yourself. Take yourself to a different place. To have power, I also say you must sacrifice, but not the regular Ebo. That Ebo of the chicken, the he goat, or whatever, that's the cute sacrifice. But the real sacrifice is in you. You might have to sacrifice your ego. Sometimes there might be people talking trash around you, about you, and you might just like, ashe, and walk away. And then in a week or so, they might come right back around and apologize to you. I'm telling you, that's how Ifa works. You might have to sacrifice your ego so that the power can be exerted on your problems. There will be things you can't do if you are trying to exert power, to cultivate power. There might be foods you can't eat that are associated with you cultivating your power. You need to be consistent even when you don't like it. You must get to a point where you are comfortable doing the thing that which is uncomfortable. I remember my teacher said, hey, 4 hours of Ifa study per day. I'm still working towards that. But 4 hours every day to study Ifa, to learn, to become better, to do all these things, that is an aspect of moving oneself out of their comfort zone, not being distracted by children, not being distracted by the things that you must do. But what does that mean? It requires planning. It requires preparation. Okay, well, if I need to do this and this is the good thing for me and all of that, what I need to do is, okay, how do I arrange it? Let me do the nap time for the kids at this time and make sure they do their nap. Let me get an hour in here. I'm gonna listen to it here. I'm gonna do it this at this moment in time. All right, I'm driving to work. I'm studying. Be comfortable being uncomfortable, but also plan and prepare, because these are key factors if you're trying to exert power and cultivate power so that you can exerted and have an effect on the world, it's going to take you doing something outside of the ordinary and having a very expansive consciousness about what you're doing, not a minute one. This cultivation process of allowing source of power to shape your destiny. Source. We must allow the source of power to remake us into power. I'm going to say that again. Allow source of power to remake us into power and powerful beings. The discipline that we have, the discipline that we use is going to chip away at the outer structure of ourselves. Is going to chip away at those aspects of our life that are not useful for the next level that we're going to achieve. And sometimes the crazy thing, we might plateau and we got to keep chipping. We got to keep applying pressure and chipping away at that outer structure so that we can refine ourselves. Our goal is to become a being in the likeness of. A being in the likeness of. And what is that? The child of good character. Our goal is to be Omolu Abi. That is our destiny, is to be and become Omolu Abi. So in closing, I just want to sum this up. First point, if we do not possess our own power, someone will possess it for us. There are people who benefit from us being powerless. We need to be conscious of that. That there are folk who don't want us to know ourselves. There are folk who want to exert a power upon us so that they can control us. We have to break out of that and break out of, in essence, break the matrix, break out of that and break the matrix. 2, walking in purpose is walking in power. Purpose is power. If you don't have a purpose, you better get one. If you don't have a purpose, you need to get one. You need to find it and figure it out. And then once you have found it, then you found where you need to stand so that power can just come up through you. And last but not least, as you find and follow that destiny, you got to fulfill it. And fulfilling it takes decisions. And those decisions will determine your discipline. Discipline is the process that will transform a mediocre understanding of your destiny to a miraculous manifestation of your destiny. And with that, I pray that we will do those things so that we can truly experience the good in the world. Thank you all for joining us once again. I have a couple of announcements. One of the announcements is the Omo Awo program. If you are interested in learning more about Ifa as a priest, you can join the Omo Awo program. You can DM me more information. This is for people who are priests, and also I plan on restarting the classes, the Friday night classes. I want to try it in a different way. So that is forthcoming for sure. I might do it like maybe once a month instead of every week. The other thing, Omo Awo program. Also, this July, we're planning to have Ifa initiations once again. So if you are interested please contact me for details on that. So, with the grace of Olodumare, uh, one of the other Oluos is going to be coming down, so we'll be doing that at that time. So, tap in with me if you want to learn more. Also, May 18th, we're having our herbal class. It's posted on the website, and I'll be posting it on Facebook, Facebook and Instagram. Ia uh, Zaire Saab is going to be uh, doing this class. We're sponsoring that class. It's going to be happening May 18th and May 19th. So please reserve your spot. It's going to be practical herbal knowledge. So please join us. It's going to be very, very good. Also, the International Ifa and Orisha Festival in Ado Ekiti 2024 is happening starting May 18th. I believe it's going from May 18th to May 27th. Tap in. That's going to be a wonderful thing. I think we're going to work with some folks on that side because I'm not going this year. So I'm going to work with some people to perhaps upload videos and commentary. So that's going to be really exciting this show. Keep tuning in for that. All that's going to be on the website as well. Also, if you are interested in assisting, please send any donations. You can send it to the email, even the PayPal below or the Cash App below. If the things that we're saying here are beneficial, helpful, and good for you, and you want to support, you can definitely do so there. Also, each week I focus on doing Ifa work, and if any of you all would like to support and assist, please let me know. The days that I do the majority of the work is going to be Tuesdays, Thursdays, and some Fridays. So if there are folks who are interested, please let me know. You want to come down and learn or just be around the energy to help, not just come and kick like, oh, this is cool. Come and be around the energy. So, Abora Boye, Ifayemi, Annette, good to see you. Ekaro, Chloe, thank you for joining us. Aboshishaboto, Allison, thank you. Thank you for sending love and blessings from TNT. All right, Aboshishaboto, Taylor Crumpkin, Maisha Walker Dean. Good to see you. Good to see you. Taylor Crumpkin, yes. Escaping. Don't tell no lies about me. I won't tell no truths about you. Anyway, that's all I'm about to say. I still haven't escaped the beef. Yeah, I'm still. That was really the reason why it took me so long to come up with this sermon, because I was avid hip hop head. All right, Bora Boye, Ifa Leke, thank you for joining us. Otis, Paul Jr. Chase, Aboshisha Boto, thanks for joining us. Ifa Kolade, good to see you, Baba. Thank you. Ashe, yes, purpose is power. Purpose is power. Thank you. Hey, Kevana, Ashe, thank you for joining us. Dr. Kamal Rashid, yes, knowledge of self is knowledge of destiny and knowledge of God, for sure. Ashe, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, okay. Ashe. Thank you. Abo Shishaboto, Ifadeke. All right. Joshua Hutchins, thank you. From PG County. Ashe, good to see you. Thank you so much. All right. Okay. Bora Boye, Adrian. Yes, that Odu Ogunda Meji is so powerful. All right. Yes, kill that rooster inside. Kill that chicken inside you. Ashe. Yes. Yeah, mornings with Ifa. Yep. That's real. That's real. Ashe is the real sacrifice. The real sacrifice. The real sacrifice is the work, you know? Like doing work, not the work of being done, but doing that work. You feel me? Hey, Aboro Boye, thank you. Sandra McFadden, Shantae Taylor, thank you. Ashe, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yaya Aboshisha Boto. Oh yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. Okay. Yes, Aboshisha Boto. Tifashe, thank you for joining us. All right, what's up, Hines? Good to see you, bro. What's happening? All right. Chloe. Yes, power, time, energy. Yes. Ifa Mudupe Abora Boye, good to see you. All right. So once again, thank you for joining us. I want to end with prayer. Olodumare, we thank you for life. We thank you for health. We thank you for all the good things that you've provided for us. Please ward off all death, ward off sickness from us, controversy, ward off distractions from us. Support us in helping us to embrace internal power, spiritual power. Help us to focus on our character so that we can see the gifts of spirit. Simply put, help us to transform our character so that we can see the material gifts of spirit. And that gift is power. So I pray that you all would adhere to some of these challenges and that you would manifest your destiny and manifest that actual internal power that has been given to us at birth. I will see you in 2 weeks. Thank you again for joining us. Aboru, Aboye, Aboshishe, Aboato.
Aboru Boye, gbogbo awo. Aboru Boye, ẹ̀yin babaláwo. Èèyàn Ìbọ̀rù Boye.